We're good? Yes. So, welcome back. I think you might have already seen the first video, but we're Mind the Talk, the podcast. We're starting off right now, and we generally want to talk about different things, culture, language learning related things. My name is Aki, and
My name
your name
is
is
Enrico. Hello, hello,
Enrico.
guys.
Yes. Hello. And maybe, well, you might have already watched the previous video, but we generally want to talk about communicate with talk with different people about culture and language related things. Maybe let's start with why we want to do that, why we started this. Why did we start this podcast at all? What was our motivation?
Why actually? Why? And why do, why do you want to do it with me?
Yeah, I think we kind of both wanted to do this. Yeah,
Yeah,
because we both have some kind of ideas about language learning because we're actually both teachers. Some people might hate to hear that, two teachers doing podcasts. But otherwise, I think it's just, we're sort of spontaneous people, and we just thought the idea pretty good, pretty interesting.
yeah. And actually, the idea came up when you did an interview with me, right? Maybe you can
Yeah,
explain.
exactly. Because I'm currently at the University of Galway in Ireland, and they have this radio station called Flirt FM, and some of the Irish people might somehow recognize the name Na Teangoirí. Um, it's a radio that I had for 2 semesters, and there I interviewed you as a German teacher, my previous teacher as well. And we actually talked about the methods that we have in the classroom kind of situation. We try to create and what our purpose is.
Right. And yeah, actually, you rented the studio for I think an hour or something like that, and we were
Yeah,
running out of time and found out that we were not done yet, right? So we could
as
have
usual.
talked,
Yes.
yeah, I could have talked even more. And yeah, doing that, we, yeah, the idea came up, why don't we do our own podcast and do it regularly, right? Because we also
Exactly.
like chatting and talking. And yeah, and there are not so many opportunities to speak about our job so deeply, right? And we have
Yeah.
many, many talks about everything in the internet and on YouTube and wherever. But like a kind of professional talk about language learning and yeah, also cultural difference. There's some culture podcast there, but I found there is not enough of it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly the point. There's something that makes our project different. The fact that we are both working with teaching and like getting students get somehow familiar with the new language that they're learning, but also we can bring our own culture as well. Like you coming from German background, I'm coming
Mm.
from Japanese background, and we both lived in a few different places as well. So it would be fun to combine all those things.
Yeah, right, right. Yeah, and of course, we also
Yeah.
want to motivate people to learn languages, to also to understand how learning works, right? This is also the, the content of our or of your interview with me. What is important when learning a language? Um,
Mhm.
because I think that many people have problems with learning languages because they don't do it in the right way. I mean, in a way that makes it difficult and more complicated to learn language, even though you could do it much easily. Yeah,
Some
I,
people do it on their own to learn a new foreign language.
mm,
Some people go to a classroom. But still, I think we tend to fall into, I don't know, the kind of rabbit hole that we just keep on doing grammar and technical stuff where we
yeah,
don't really practice communication and so on. So we're just trying to figure out how to get it, better system.
yeah. And this, is something we, can discuss, in our podcast. Although, or philosophical, you know what I mean, right? Philosophical, issues. For example, if it is still up to date to learn a language, do we still need it in future? No?
Yeah.
All the stuff
Okay.
could be,
And also some aspects, maybe if it's still makes sense for some people to practice writing. Like I get a lot of students who say I don't want to learn any of the Japanese writing system because all I want is just be able to talk. And I'm not interested in writing because it's too complicated for me. But if that's like, I don't know, the kind of productive attitude or not, and all those technical stuff as well.
Yeah. And this is something we would like to discuss. Yeah, maybe we should now,
We want to, yeah, what we
introduce
actually do.
what we actually do, what are our plans? Yeah.
So what's our plan? First off, I think, well, we started talking about interviewing people in the beginning. So we want to do it hopefully 2 times in a month. Um, Talking about, well, things related to language learning and culture. What kind of new things people experience in foreign culture in a place that they live. Maybe they're coming from different backgrounds, or how they learn languages, and then something like that.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah.
It could be, there could be people from various countries, right?
Yeah.
Could be teachers, could be students, could be people who have a special insight to a cultural thing or issue.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why
Yeah.
the language for these talks or these interviews will be in
Unidentified, unidentified. So sometimes it might be English, sometimes it might be German, sometimes it might be Japanese or some other languages. Depends on the people that we're talking to and also the topics. Yeah, so because some people, well, a lot of people speak in English or maybe quite a few in German as well that we know. But otherwise, like maybe some people know just one of the languages or feel comfortable in one language and not the other. So we're not really focusing on just one.
yeah. I mean, you can also give us a feedback and leave a comment down or up. It depends on your on your device. Yeah, what do you prefer? I mean, we are quite open. We read
Mhm.
everything. And if you want more in English or more in German or other language, just let us know and we will see if we can, make it or not. Huh?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what else are we going to do?
Yeah, we were thinking of also giving you a different kind of different content. I mean, the interview is also could be very interesting, but we also want to give you some also some facts, some information about language. So that's why we are planning to publish once a week a um, yeah, how to say,
Some
informative of
informative video.
informative video, for you, where we give you some insight to language. It could be
Yeah,
like explaining some
some sort of.
phrases, some
Yeah,
phrases, proverbs, sayings, or it could be a grammatical issue where we would like you to show you, and we would also to compare with other languages, right? That we
exactly.
can see, how is it in
That's, I
this
think,
language
what
and
we
that language.
can do. Because we're not just teaching some specific languages, but we both have quite a few languages that we speak that we can communicate in. So it will be fun to compare what kind of situations there are. Some phrasings might be non-existent in some other languages, or it would be completely differently expressed. So
Right.
those comparisons would be
And
interesting.
yeah, and we decided for now we decided to do it mainly in German. Yeah.
Mhm.
So if you're interested in in listening German, the explanations in German, we try to keep it simple, that all the people who are not native speakers can follow us easily. But the language of moderation would be in German, but we also consider other languages. For example, we compare a proverb what we have in German with English or Japanese version, if there is one. Yeah, this
Mhm.
is the informative part, what we would like to provide
Exactly.
you. Yeah.
And then another thing that we're trying to keep on weekly to do is our own experience for the week, what we have learned, positive things, negative things that we have experienced. And here we want to exchange our basically daily life.
Yeah, it's more a chat, no?
Yeah.
It's not a discussion, or it's not something you can learn from. Maybe you can also learn from everything,
Good.
but it's more we're talking about our last week, and we will provide you with our highlights and lowlights, something we
Yeah.
struggled with, something that made us happy, or so
I
that
think it
you
could especially be interesting because we're both living in a country that we're not from. So in a sort of foreign country, but in that case, we can also compare our own cultures. Maybe we
mm,
get from time to time annoyed by some few things, or we find something nicer compared to our own countries and stuff. So that's what we're basically
right. Yeah,
aiming
and
for.
you could also get an insight to our job, to our daily life. No? If you are interested,
Exactly.
how does my life as a teacher at a Japanese university looks like? This chat could be interesting.
Hmm. Exactly. What the teachers actually do behind the scenes and what they think, how they experience their life, then this is for
Yeah.
you, something for
Do you
you.
know we have a German saying about teachers? Teachers are always right in the morning and always free in the afternoon. It's a German
No, never heard
saying.
of it.
In German we say, ne, Lehrer haben am Vormittag rechts und am Nachmittag frei. Recht und am Nachmittag frei. Should say that teachers, have a great life, nothing to do, just work in the morning, and and they're always a boss, so it's a perfect job you could have. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean there would be
and
a lot of interesting insights because while when I teach, like I try to incorporate, it's never just about languages and grammar, and not even just communication. It's for some people, it's just the partially psychological mental development as well, because language learning is super hard. So I think there would be a lot of interesting discussion.
yeah,
But
right, and
not only on the weekly basis, but we also have once a month discussion
right,
planned.
right. We would like to discuss a discussion to discuss a specific topic, no, specific thing that we think might be interesting and also relevant for us and or for other people who teach or learn a language. It could be something about teaching, about learning language. It could be also, like I said, a philosophical. I give up.
Philosophical.
I give up. Okay, if you have an idea how I can pronounce it correctly, please write it in the comment.
Hey, we're gonna learn a lot as well. So I think the fun thing is we can all compare the kind of methods that we have and also learn from each other. But not only that, because I think the beautiful thing is we all teachers have different kind of systems and different kind of goals in
Mm,
mind, or in general, our own unique mindset towards what might be important. and what might not. So that's why we might be able to have a bit of conflict and discussion as well. And yeah, having a chat about it would be interesting for us and hopefully for you too.
Yeah, and what language are we going to do that?
We're going to do in German if we're talking to each other, but it could be in English as well. But sometimes once in a while we might get some guests, so it might also change
Hmm. Yeah,
depending on the person.
and it's this podcast is for you guys. So if you have an idea or a recommendation, a request, just let us know and we will see. Maybe it's a good idea and we will do it like that.
Or a language that you want to hear it in.
Yeah, right, which language, or if you listen to podcasts and you think, it's too complicated in this language, or you would like to have it in another language. I think it depends also on who is following us, right? Following. So if you are, for example, if you are an English native speaker and you don't speak any Japanese and German, then you should subscribe to this channel and tell all your friends, your English-speaking friends, and I promise there will be much more in English.
Exactly.
So,
Nice chance.
yeah. Okay, yeah, and if you have something you would like to give us a feedback, you can also send us an email. Our email address is the name of our podcast, Mind the Talk, as one word, @marudoku.jp. Marudoku, you can write it, I will spell it for you, MARU.
You.
You. Oh my gosh. Again. Okay, again. Edmark and MARUDOKU.JP. Is it correct?
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
think
gosh.
so.
Oh,
Spelling out loud is difficult. Just try it out for yourself. But
yeah, and it's
yeah,
already late afternoon or evening here, so
yeah.
I'm
I
already
just woke up,
exhausted.
so I'm all right.
Yeah, you are still fresh. You look much fresher than me.
Exactly. So I guess as well, that's what's coming next. We're recording this podcast structure explanation in three languages, Japanese, German, and I was about to say Hungarian, but no, in English that we're doing right now. And then after that, we're gonna try to start the regular recordings. So I hope you're, well, looking forward to it. We are definitely. And
Hmm,
I guess that's about it for today. So
cool.
please like and subscribe and write if you have any ideas or comments, then just write in the comments
Yes,
section.
and even if you don't have any suggestions or any comment, write something. It's good for the algorithm.
And also, if you want to be taking part in some of the podcast shows, if you're like, oh, I have some good ideas about this topic, or maybe related to language learning or cultural things, and you have some interesting things to talk about, or maybe you just want to chat with us, um, please feel free to reach us in the email address that Enrico just said. I'm not going to attempt that, but
We could also put it in the description, actually, right? In the
yeah,
description
yeah,
of this
exactly.
series of this
We're gonna put
episode,
everything
right?
together down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then they can just click on it. Yeah, we have already 19 minutes. That's longer than our German version.
Oh no.
Yeah.
We'll see how long it's gonna be with the Japanese version.
Even though I spoke less in the German version.
Okay. Well, that was about it. Thank you guys for watching, and then see you next time.
Okay. See you. Bye.
Bye.